Hey everybody, Parallel here, and welcome back to Star Trek Online. So, we got a new featured episode. This was a bit of a surprise. In the last patch here, just a few days ago, Cryptic released a new featured episode. This one is called Home. And I was definitely not expecting a new featured episode this soon after the Victory is Life expansion came out, but here it is. And I believe this episode is going to be wrapping up the Gamma Quadrant story arc. So I'm definitely looking forward to this. There were some unanswered questions raised in the previous episode, which was Tenebris Torquent. And I'd like to see how this gets wrapped up here. I guess I'm not totally sure if this is going to be the final episode in the story arc, but it seems heavily leaning in that direction based on the blog post and everything. So, and just where the story itself was going, because just spoiler alert for anyone who has not completed the previous episodes, we are going to be traveling to the Founder's homeworld, and I'm assuming we're going to try to fight off the Hur'q. And it was heavily hinted in the end of the last episode that Dr. Bashir has done some kind of research or made some kind of a breakthrough in a way to defeat the Hur'q, and was not really explained what that is, and I'm very curious to find out what that will be going forward here. But, this episode should answer some questions, I hope, and I honestly want to see what Cryptic is going to be, if they're going to be setting up another story arc here, or there's going to be hints of some other future events going on. So let's jump in here. Now, I did want to mention a few things, because along with the patch, along with the featured episode that came with the patch, there were some other important changes. In particular, I was kind of surprised to see that Cryptic has done a little bit of balancing on the level 63 captain powers. Those came out with Victory is Life with the new level cap. We saw that there were three new captain powers, one for each career, that were added. And so there are some pretty significant changes here. So the science power... the science power is intrusive energy redirection. Yeah, so they increased the duration. Or no, was it co-opt energy weapons? Yeah, it was co-opt energy weapons is the science one. They increased the duration from 5 seconds to 15 seconds, so that's a nice buff. They increased the radius from 3 kilometers to 5 kilometers, that is also good. And increased the healing percentage. So even though it was kind of a lackluster power, increasing the radius and the duration should help it a fair amount. I still don't know that it'll be that great, but it's definitely better now with this buff. The engineering one, the intrusive energy redirection, this one got increased the duration from 10 to 15 seconds. Increased to the base power drain from 10 to 25. Base power gained went from a little bit up from 5 to 21 to 10 to 25, so slightly went up. But the big thing is that the bonus weapon damage is now 10% per target instead of 5%. And that's Cat 2, so that's pretty decent. If you hit a few targets with that, it's still not attack pattern alpha or anything like that, but it's a decent buff. I mean, if you somehow manage to hit 5 targets with it, I guess it would be close to attack pattern alpha. I mean, without the crit and all that stuff, but and then there was a significant change to the tactical one. So the tactical power is the vulnerability assessment sweep. So this got changed. Instead of being a clone of sensor scan from the science, a debuff on the enemies, this is now actually a buff to you and nearby allied players, giving them armor penetration for 15 seconds. And looking at the tooltip here I have on my tactical character, you can see it's plus 20 to plus 40 armor pen for 15 seconds, based on number of allies affected, up to 5. So it looks like maybe 4% per target, something like that. Or maybe it's 5 points of skill, per target. Yeah, so it'd be 20 for 1, 25 for 2. Yeah, that would make sense. So that is the new ability. Kind of I'm not really sure if this is a major change or not. I think it's probably a buff, or it's a nerf and a buff in some ways, because it used to be a debuff to the target, and I think it was a bit more significant for debuffing the target, then, you know, reducing the target's armor is better than increasing your own armor pen, because that, you know, that debuff will, all players hitting it will get that damage buff, your pets, everything will hitting the target will get that buff to their damage, because they're, you know, hitting a target with reduced armor. But the thing with the debuff is that as soon as that target dies, then it is gone. So, and now with this change, instead of debuffing the target, you're just buffing yourself, so at least you know it will last the full 15 seconds and give you a more, potentially more uptime. So, I mean, I guess I get the feeling it's a little bit of a nerf against like a single hard target, but it's a bit of a buff in like a multi-target situation where things are dying quickly, and you know, you'll have it for the full 15-second duration, so there'll be slightly more uptime. Have to do more testing on this to see if it is more of a nerf or a buff, but interesting change nonetheless. I guess it was maybe too close to sensor scan, is all I can think of, and Cryptic wanted to make it differentiated a bit more. So those are the changes to the level 63 captain powers. Pretty significant buffs to the science and the engineering, and a big change to the tactical ability. Although I have to say, the science one is still disappointing. I don't know, as a science character, I was not really looking for another self-heal. I was, you know, I don't know why Cryptic just didn't put in sensor overload. They had the ability called sensor overload that they were going to introduce way back with season 13. I thought this was the perfect science power. It basically buffed all your exotic damage, and I think it even had like Control X or Drain X maybe buffs in there. I mean, that is like the perfect ability for a science character, and yet for some reason Cryptic pulled it, and now it's never brought back into the game. I thought, you know, increasing the level cap and adding new captain powers at level 63 would have been a perfect time to bring sensor overload back, but who knows why Cryptic doesn't want that one in there. I thought that'd be a perfect science ability. But those were pretty significant changes in the patch there, so I did want to mention them. There were some other nice little bug fixes in the patch. We also got a mention that we finally have a date now for the, let me go ahead and pull up the calendar. We finally got a date for the Summer Festival. So the Risa Summer event will be starting on July 3rd. So that's coming up here pretty soon as well. And we will be getting a Vorgon Dreadnought cruiser with this event, and they just released the stats on that in a blog post. I'll probably do a separate video on that here. Probably when the event actually, when the summer event actually starts, I'll do a video and talk about the ship and everything at that point in time. So yeah, that is, but it is actually looking like it could be a pretty unique ship, as it has a 3-5 weapon configuration, which is, I think, a first time in Star Trek Online, where it has 3 forward weapons and 5 aft. So that is definitely something new and different. I believe you could kind of tell that I think Cryptic is going for trying to make this into like a mine layer type of ship, specializing in mines, having all those aft weapon slots. We'll have to see how that actually works. I'm not very experienced with mines, honestly, because they've always been kind of a neglected weapon system in Star Trek Online, but it might be worth it to give them a try with this ship. So, yep. But talk about that more in an upcoming video. But for now, let's go ahead and get started with this episode. Now, I did want to mention one more quick thing here. You can actually see I am here outside of the Batran cluster in the beta quadrant, so you can see right here I am. And I wanted to mention this because, you know, I am here on my Jem'Hadar character, and I've been, you know, playing this character throughout all of the other Gamma Quadrant episodes, and kind of showing the progress of this character, trying to help out, you know, players who are starting out, maybe giving some tips for progressing their Jem'Hadar character into the end game. And one thing I wanted to mention here as one of these tips is you want to come here to the Batran cluster and start the duty officer mission chain, because this will give you access to very rare technician duty officers. And if you're running an Aux to Bat build like I am here on my Jem'Hadar Vanguard warship, this is the same ship and build that I've been using throughout most of the episodes. The first two I was using the bug ship, but then I switched to this one. So if you are running an Aux to Bat build, you're going to want to come to the Batran cluster and run the mission chain. Now you can I actually did a whole video guide on the support colony support duty officer chains that you can do at these clusters or nebulas. You can see them all throughout the map, but I wanted to particularly mention Bertrand Cluster because this one gives you the purple duty officers that you need for Aux to Bat builds. So you can actually see I did complete... it is a 7-part mission chain, so you can see here I actually just completed the 7 of 7 mission. And when you complete the end of this chain, it does actually give you a blue quality technician, but that's not the one you're looking for. After you complete this part of the mission chain, collect these rewards. Now when you come back to the Bertrand cluster, I don't know if the mission will actually be appearing right now. Oh, here it is. Haha. Here is the mission you want to do. It is called Support Bertrand Cluster Expansion Efforts. And it can. This is the one that will reward you with a special duty officer. In this case, it will be a technician, because we're at the Bertrand cluster. That's what it gives. And what you want to do is you want to increase your crit chance for this mission, and because you need to be getting a crit in order to get that duty officer. If you don't get a crit, then you're not going to get it. And I don't have very good duty officers on my Jem'Hadar, so 30% crit chance is probably the best I'm going to get here. So I'm going to go ahead and slot these and begin this assignment. So if you're interested in more of the details, I definitely recommend to check out my previous video on that support colonization efforts mission and duty officer mission. And this is where you need to go to get your duty officers for your Aux to Bat build, which are the technicians. So the idea is that right now when I... let's go ahead and look at my roster here. So right now I'm just running blue quality technicians, and you know, completing this, getting some crits with this mission here in the Bertrand cluster, you'll be able to get purple quality ones and upgrade these. So that will be the goal there. All right, so that is one tip. Just make sure you go to the Bertrand cluster and do that duty officer chain, and then once that unlocks once you complete 7 missions in that chain, you can unlock the support colonization efforts mission that I just showed, and that's how you get your purple technicians. All right, but otherwise you can see my build has not changed much. I've been continuing to grind out all my reputations. I did finally get all of them to tier 5 because, you know, as a Jem'Hadar Vanguard character, all of these are already sponsored, so it is very easy to grind these out and get them up to rank 5. And you really want to do that because that will give you a nice infusion of dilithium ore as well. A lot of these, once you get them up to rank 5, will give you, I believe, 30k dilithium ore, so I've got a lot of unrefined ore here, but you're definitely going to want to do that, and you need to unlock everything from these reputations anyway. So, of course, Gamma Quadrant was not a sponsored reputation, so not quite maxed out there yet, even though I've been grinding this out. So yeah, definitely want to be grinding your reputations, and then I did actually join a fleet. I joined the Reddit fleet for KDF, which is House of Snoo, which is great, and started working on getting some fleet credits as well. So I will be able to put together a decent build here pretty soon, and get some actual fleet gear on here, get some locators in here and all of that good stuff. So definitely want to do that next. Once that is done, I will go ahead and do like a full build video for this ship. And I believe in order to complete that build video, I'm going to need the rewards from this episode, which we are about to start right now, which is Home. And I'm going to go ahead and hail, and we're going to take a look at the mission rewards here, because they do look very cool. I'm very excited about these mission rewards. So let's go ahead and hail, start out this mission, and yeah, take a look at the rewards.
Empersa, the homeworld of the Founders, is under attack by the Hur'q. This is our darkest hour. If Empersa falls, the Dominion will come to an end. I'm asking you to join in the defense efforts as soon as you can. A task force will assemble at my fleet's location in the Gamma Quadrant and warp to Empersa from there. Remember, if we fall, the Alpha Quadrant is next. It's time to make a stand. I hope you'll join in the fight.
As a Jem'Hadar, I'm pretty sure you don't have to hope. You could just command me to join the fight, and I would do it. Okay, so yes, the homeworld is under threat from the Hur'q, and it's kind of interesting because if you know from the last episode, as a recap here, that's because Garrick actually put some of those Hur'q beacons on the homeworld of the Founders, so it attracted the Hur'q there as sort of, you know, Garrick's little ploy. So we'll have to see how that actually turns out. I mean, if Bashir actually has some sort of medical breakthrough or some research that he's done to defeat the Hur'q, you know, maybe everything will work out okay. But we'll have to see if that actually comes to fruition. One other important thing to note here is that in the previous episode, the female changeling, you know, the leader of the Founders, was killed by a mutant Hur'q that seemed to suppress their ability to change form, and just killed her. So the Dominion is probably in a bit of a disarray right now with their loss of the female changeling leader, and, you know, her whole fleet. I'm unsure as to what's going to happen. I mean, are they going to start following Odo now? Is there going to be two factions that kind of separate out from the Great Link? You know, one supporting the female changeling, one supporting Odo. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen with the politics of the Founders here? So all of this I'm hoping to find out in this episode. So I have a lot of anticipation here. But yeah, here are the rewards. Now, this is why I'm excited about this, because this is a Polaron weapons set. And this looks really cool. This looks pretty similar to like the Nausicaan set, you know, for Disruptors, but this time we're getting a set for Polaron. And the most exciting thing is this next reward that's going to be coming available right here, which is a Polaron Energy Torpedo. Finally, guys, we're going to get a Polaron Energy Torpedo. I think that means we're going to have an Energy Torpedo of like every energy type now. So that's great. And then we also get this, another console. So, yep, get a console, the torpedo, and then for today, for the first week of the featured episode, we're going to get this energy weapon, which is, it's a turret. Wow, that's strange. Is it only a turret? There's no Omni? Well, that is a bit of surprise. I thought for sure it would have a turret and an Omni. That is quite surprising. That is very surprising. But this console looks pretty great too. It's got a minus weapon power cost, drain expertise, some Polaron damage. But I definitely want to take a look at this reward, and at the end I'll be able to get the details on this, and we'll take a look at those the 2-piece and 3-piece set bonus. So this looks like a great episode, although again, since there's no Omni beam, it looks like this is more focused on a cannon type build, as this will be a turret. Which is okay. I'm actually going for a cannon build on this ship, but it's too bad it's not, you don't have the option of having an Omni as well for beam build. But yeah, so this set looks really exciting, guys. This is finally, you know, will be something to compete with the, you know, with the Nausicaan set, but this time for Polaron. Very, very cool, and very thematic with the Dominion. And that's what I'm thinking, is I want to actually put together a Polaron build for this ship, and then, you know, once I get some fleet gear on here, actually do a build video for a proper, you know, a true endgame build for this ship, based on Polaron. So, yep. That is my target.
If you'll excuse me.
Okay, so let's... actually, I'm curious. So we can... usually when there is a featured episode, we can transwarp. I wonder if this will take me right to there, or if it will take me outside of Deep Space Nine. So let's go ahead and use the transwarp here. Remember, during the featured episode event, whenever you click here on the featured episode and bring this up, you can transwarp to that location. You know, you could transwarp to that location with no energy credit charge, so no EC charge and no cooldown. It does not hit your cooldown on your normal transwarp. So for the next, you know, 3-4 weeks, as long as this featured episode is running, you'll have free transwarps to wherever this goes. Which apparently it does not go to Deep Space Nine, so it takes you way up here to the corner of Gamma Quadrant. Not exactly the most useful transwarp location, unfortunately. Some of the other transwarps would take you right outside of Deep Space Nine. That's quite helpful. But nope, this one takes you way, way up here in the Gamma Quadrant. Okay, so here's Odo's fleet. That's cool. And, all right, so yeah, let's find out what's going to happen here with the invasion of the Founder homeworld. Let's go and begin. This is awesome, man. This story arc has been fantastic. All the 6 episodes so far have been great. Really a step up from honestly almost all the previous episodes. All the effort that Cryptic put in with Victory's Life, having all the original voice cast coming back, has really provided a level of authenticity to this story arc that has been great. And a few of the episodes have been really stand out. Quark's Lucky 7 was an absolutely fantastic episode. Uh-oh. That's not good. All right, I'm back, everyone. Sorry for those technical difficulties. I was disconnected during a map transfer into the mission. And believe it or not, I also tried the mission again another time, made it into the mission, and then got to a point where I could not proceed because one of the enemies had spawned underneath the floor, and I could not complete an objective. So I've been having a lot of issues with this mission, so I abandoned the mission, and I'm going to start it over again here. Hopefully this time it will work, and it will go smoothly, and won't run into any more issues. But it's unfortunate. Sometimes these episodes, these featured episodes can be a little bit buggy when they first come out, and I'm definitely experiencing that now. But I did reset the mission here. Hopefully I will go through this time and not run into any of those same issues. But I did want to let you know that because I'm a little bit spoiled I didn't get too far into the mission, I don't think, but I'm a little bit spoiled for the first part of the mission here.
Previously on Star Trek Online, the Dominion as you know it is on the verge of collapse. Without your help, the Hur'q will win the war of attrition. What's happening?
Yes, Garrick, I found your mysterious widget. What is it exactly? It's not Kremen tech.
I found a similar device on Bejor.
These devices called the Hur'q, and we put them there. The other founders are hiding things from me.
Odo, look out!
Hold your fire. I think it's trying to communicate.
We can't hold off the Hur'q forever.
Alliance forces are spread too thin to help, Quark.
We need the Klingons, brother. Otherwise, we're doomed.
Sword of Kahless, as promised.
Once again, the House of Quark delivers. Martok will be pleased.
You found a secret I've kept for millennia.
The origin of the Hur'q infestation.
And you're rolling it. The Dominion must endure.
I'm afraid I can't allow that. As we speak, every Hur'q in the Quadrant is homing in on the signal.
And now the conclusion. I arrived here ahead of you, and I've already engaged the Hur'q near the planet. You've made your point, Garrick. Deactivate the Hur'q lure device you placed on the homeworld before this gets out of hand.
Yeah, so that was pretty cool. A nice little cutscene that actually was a recap of the previous episodes in the story arc. That was really well done. I like that. It almost felt like an original episode of the, back in the actual series of Deep Space Nine, or even like TNG, they would have, whenever they would have like a 2-part episode, they would always have a little bit of an introduction as to what had happened previously. And that felt a lot like the original episode, the original series. So that was actually really neat. I liked that recap. And that recap was actually helpful because it reminded me that I had missed a cutscene in one of the previous episodes. And that cutscene where one of the Hur'q tried to communicate with Odo, that was actually something that I had missed because of a mistake I had made in that previous episode. I didn't talk to Odo at the right time to trigger a cutscene, and I missed it. So that was a nice recap that kind of showed me a part that I had not seen before. But otherwise, it actually recapped everything really well, and it makes me think that how it was put together, how it was cut together, that the outcome of the Quark's Lucky 7 episode where we were trying to recover the Sword of Kalas, and we gave that to Grilka, and she was going to bring it to Martok. That makes me think that that might be enough to bring the Klingons into the war, which which is kind of hinted at as what we need in order to turn the tide on the Hur'q, because we need the full support of all the races in the in the Alpha Quadrant. And back in the original episode of the story arc, the Klingons were very reluctant to get involved. They didn't want to get back into combat with the Hur'q, based on their history and everything else. So we'll have to see what happens there. I'm curious to see. That was a great little recap, though. Very much enjoyed that. But here we are, and of course at the end of that recap you saw that Garak has, with his scheme, had put some of those beacons to attract the Hur'q to the Founder homeworld, which is where we're at right now. And Odo is trying to talk to Garak. He's like, turn this stuff off, we need to get the Hur'q out of here. So here we go, let's find out what happens.
I'm afraid that's the problem, Ambassador. I deactivated it several minutes ago.
Oh, great.
Then why are the Hur'q still attacking? Don't play games with me here, Garak. I'm warning you.
Yeah, I still think Garap's got something up his sleeve here. He's got some scheme going on.
Perhaps they're still attacking due to a deep hatred of your people. After all, the Founders are directly responsible for their state of mind, body, and soul. I can't say I blame them for...
Gentlemen.
Enough, both of you. We don't have time for this. There's bigger problems to deal with here, starting with that swarm of Hur'q vessels nearby.
That is a good point.
Agreed. My fleet is already engaged near the planet, but Hur'q reinforcements keep arriving. Try to punch through the swarms so we can join up.
All right. So I just wanted to take a quick look at our fleet here. Oh, we got a Galaxy class. Cool. Federation science vessel, and so we got 2 science vessels here. Those look like the old, is that the old tier 4, tier 5 science vessels? We got a Galaxy class, and we've got the Tane, so Garak is here. We've got the Defiant, and a couple of support Cardassian ships here as well. So we got our fleet going, and I'm guessing that's Odo's flagship up here already, because he said he was already engaged with the Hur'q. All right, so very cool. Let's go take out some Hur'q and see what we can do to save the Founder homeworld here.
We may be needing your solution to this problem soon, Doctor.
Yes, since yours failed in a spectacular fashion.
Has it? Some might argue it succeeded.
Yeah, I still think Garak is up to something. Maybe he's got like another beacon down there to use as leverage on the Founders or something. But he was talking to Bashir, and I'm also very curious to see what Bashir's discovery is, or what his solution is to the Hur'q. Because yeah, that was another thing we found, in the previous episode was, he had been researching the Hur'q on their homeworld and had found something out, but they didn't say what it was. So we'll have to wait and see what his solution is. Ooh, cutscene.
This is the Chimera.
Hey, it's a
We're here to
Manicore.
help. The CSS Steadfast stands ready to assist you as well.
Ah, is that Neth Par? So we got Zinkethi, and
My ship won't last much longer. We need to deal with the swarm attacking it immediately.
alright, let's help Odo's flagship here. But yeah, we got some Federation reinforcements. We had the Manicore come in. So we got this Ravager over here. I got like a ton of swarmers on my app here. Let's do some reverse shield polarity. Okay, got rid of these Ravagers. Let's have some turrets to do some work on these guys. Another wave. Uh-oh. Okay. Protect the flagship. these Ravagers. Hopefully the turrets can just work on those Swarmers. There we go. Oh man, another wave. I forgot to call in my little support ship here. That's good. There's the Chimera. Where's Odo's flagship? It says I can hail him, but I don't... Oh, there it is. It's moving around now, okay. You had me worried there for a second, Odo. But that is that Dominion Dreadnought Cruiser. It's a very cool looking ship. And there's my little support ship over there. Yeah, this is quite a... Oh, check this out. All the science fleets have their scattering field up. That's pretty cool. Alright, let's talk to Odo.
Well done. The ship's taken heavy damage, but she'll survive.
Alright, that's good.
Oh, we've bought ourselves some time. Let's hope it's enough. Julian, is your plan ready? It may be our best hope to end things now.
Yeah. So if Garrett can't get them to stop attacking, we're going to need Bashir's solution here.
It's as ready as possible, Captain. The challenge of frontier medicine, I'm afraid, is that there is never enough time. I've created a program that will enable the Hur'q to synthesize the compound they need to come to their senses. I've also put together a core sample of the compound for them to utilize in mass production. That is the easy part.
Okay.
And the hard part? What do you need to make this happen?
From what we've learned about the Hur'q, the best way to make this happen will be to enter the data into one of their core computer systems. It'll need to be a command-level system with fleet-wide override authority. Systems of that caliber are only found on Hur'q dreadnoughts.
Aha. So we're going to need to find us a Hur'q dreadnought.
There's a Hur'q dreadnought heading toward the planet as we speak. It's slow, so we should be able to intercept it. I recommend we engage that ship and disable it, if possible. We'll need to get a team on board to carry out Julian's plan.
Awesome. Agreed, let's make it happen. And there's a dreadnought right there. Speak of the devil. This is awesome. Fight next to a galaxy, a mana core. He has immune shielded us on our side here. Let's get another angle. Flank him.
We did it.
There we go.
The dreadnought's disabled. That ship is still crawling with Hur'q, though. Make sure your away teams are ready for a fight.
All right.
I'll send some of my best. Dukan Rex will lead a Jem'Hadar away team, while Loris will assist Dr. Bashir.
Cool. We'll have Dukan Rex with us. That'll be cool.
Right. Let's get the away teams on that dreadnought before it calls for backup.
Loris and I have all we need. We're ready to beam over when you are.
That's cool that Loris is going to help out. Just wanted to take a look at this Hive. I don't think I've seen a Hive ship up close. It's a very cool looking ship. Well, now all the science vessels put up their scattering field again. It is a really cool looking ship. Alright, let's beam over. Here we go with our Jem'Hadar squad, full Jem'Hadar bridge officers.
We'll need to find their central computer core. Once we're there, I'll begin the override process that will allow us to transmit our data on the cure. When that's done, we can instruct each ship in their fleet to replicate the cure and distribute it to every Hur'q on board. Of course, we need to reach the command center in one piece to do so.
Distribute the cure. So are they just trying to cure their addiction? Or, because I remember they, in the previous episode, they mentioned that they were using a precursor to the Ketracel White to try to control the Hur'q, but that was driving them mad. And so maybe that's what Bashir had found out as a way to cure their madness, I guess? Make them sane again, and maybe they'll actually, you know, try to communicate like they did with Odo. That'd be cool. That would make sense, but we gotta feed this into their computer, and then they can replicate it throughout their ships. Alright, let's go ahead and use our... Oh, come on. You have failed me, probability matrix.
Get ready to fight.
Okay, let's throw in our crystalline entity in there and get their attention. And yes, I am still using Lex throwing knives. This is a pretty amusing weapon. Seems to do okay damage. It's kind of handy because it does have the... it is like a physical damage-based weapon. I've got an Overseer over here. There we go. Nice 1,000 crit. But it is a physical based weapon, so it...
Proceed with caution. I'm reading numerous hazards in the area.
Whoops. But
Proceed with caution.
Yeah, let's listen to Duke.
I'm reading
here.
numerous hazards in the area. This section of the ship has taken heavy damage.
Okay, so yeah, the ship has taken damage. I was just looking at this over here. It looks like a plasma fire. I'm not sure what's in the middle of the plasma fire there. Some piece of equipment or something. Is this actually... Ouch. Okay. That's a real fire. Don't step in the plasma fire. That's not a good idea. Just kind of looking around here. Looks like there's actually two... Oh. This door does not open. I was going to say, it looks like on the map here we've got two paths we could choose. But looks like we're going this way. But yeah, I was talking about Lex throwing knives here. This was a unique reward from the Quark's Lucky 7 mission, which was pretty funny. And I thought I enjoyed that mission so much that I did upgrade these to Mark 15 epics just to mess around with. And just been having fun with them. It's pretty funny because I'm just like, you know, my whole team here is using like all these high-powered energy weapons and everything, and I'm using these little throwing knives. Wow, 2k crit, so... Oh god, that repulsor beam. Have some throwing knives. But yeah, they are nice because they do physical damage. They do have 100% shield pen, so they will go right by. They probably would be pretty decent against the Borg, I would think. But I honestly haven't had much of a chance to test them out. I haven't been running any ground queues or anything, and I've just been... Whoa, there's a lot more there. Just been using this on, you know, just on the ground portions of the various episodes. There we go. The secondary fire is a frontal cone, which did pretty decent damage right there. Oh god, so many repels. Okay, let's take this guy out here. Wow, there's a whole nother one over here. Okay, another Overseer. Calling in his swarms. Take some throwing knives, Sioux Guardian. Alright. Alright, not bad. I'm gonna go... I can't go this way? It won't let me go, and there's some enemies over there.
Enemy targets on sensors.
That is very strange. I wonder why I can't go over there.
Enemy targets on sensors.
But let's go ahead and proceed here. So yeah, this is really cool looking. This is like the Hur'q consoles. We saw this in the previous mission as well on their homeworld. It almost looks like... my escorts are all standing around here. It looks like that... I've seen some science videos of this stuff. It looks like that when you put iron filings or like small iron particles inside of oil, and then put it under like a magnetic field, and you can get all kinds of crazy, weird geometrical shapes and everything to come out of it. I'm trying to remember what that's called, but if you look it up on YouTube, there's a lot of examples of some pretty cool videos and things of what you can do with this stuff. But that's what this reminds me of. It looks a lot like that. Yeah, I'm trying to think of what that's called. Yeah, I'm just looking up. Oh, okay, yeah, that's what it's called. Ferrofluid. Yeah, I just googled it. Yeah, there are some really cool videos on that. So if you're at all interested in you know, nifty little science videos, look up ferrofluid, and you'll get an idea of why it looks exactly like this, like these Hur'q consoles. All right, so we've got a lot of Hur'q inside of here. All right, there we go. Let's get these throwing knives going. That frontal cone throwing knife's actually not too bad. The range on these things is not great. Oh god, to repel. Let's get rid of this guy first. Oh my gosh, the range on these knives is not super great, and they keep pushing me back. Okay, let's get this overseer. Not too bad. Whoa, that was weird. He was like in a death animation, he just like faded away. But yeah, this room definitely looks like it is a hatchery or something. I wonder if they, in their ships, on the Hur'q ships, they have like a hatchery room like this so they can, you know, hatch more swarm. You know, these look like the crystals, like the Dranzuli eggs. This is like their crew quarters is basically some, you know, like a hatchery for the little guys, the attendants. Ouch. That worked. So this is a console we can use. I was going to say, it looks like this one is off the beaten path a little bit here. Maybe it's an accolade? Let's use it.
I have unpleasant news, I'm afraid. Hur'q security systems have sent an automated distress signal throughout the fleet. I recommend haste. We're going to have a great number of hostile guests. And far sooner than we'd like.
Alright, we better hurry. Aw, no accolade. Okay. There's some research materials there if you need it. Alright, let's just head over to the central chamber. Looks like that's the only way to go. I do really like this Hur'q architecture. Oh wow, lens flare, check that out. This all of a sudden turned into JJ Trek. We got a huge lens flare. But yeah, I do really like the architecture of these Hur'q ships. It looks very similar to the homeworld that we were in the previous episode. But it's very cool looking. Wow, so this is a cool room. I wonder if this is like... Oh man, there's two overseers like right there. So I wonder if that's supposed to be like the engine room. And this is like main engineering, or if this is like the bridge, I wonder. They do have a lot of those ferrofluid consoles around here. Man, there's a lot of dudes. Okay, so I'm gonna... Oh, come on. I'm not having a good luck with the gambling device today. This thing is not... I don't think I want to engage here with like my debuff on. Let me just wait a few seconds here. Oh, I guess that is not an option. Okay, let's go. Oh my gosh, they're pushing me back again already. Let's go ahead and get our security teams in here. Let's get this guy going. Alright, there we go. Oh, nice flanking shot. It's actually working pretty well. Let's kind of funnel him into the hallway here. Every time I get in range of my throwing knives, they're pushing me back. Alright, let's get this Overseer down. One more Overseer. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, that pushback is very annoying. Do you have some kind of damage resistance buff there? For a while I was doing like very low damage. I'm not very familiar with all of their abilities. Alright, so Bashir is here. Looks like he's going to try to hack into their terminal and get that going. Loris, what are you doing back here? She's like cowering. That's pretty funny. Alright, so let's talk to Bashir. So here's the thing, guys. This is actually where I ran into the issue in my previous attempt, was in this room. So I'm hoping we don't run into it again.
Excellent work. It's time for Loris and I to finish this. Keep your weapons handy, however. We're breaking into a secure computer system here. The Hur'q are bound to take offense. Keep them busy while we do our work, or this will be a wasted trip.
Alright, you will have all the time you need, Doctor. That's right, I am the Jem'Hadar. We will defend you. But yeah, in my previous attempt here, like one of these waves of enemies that comes in must have either like spawned under the floor or something happened and it would not complete the objective. So here I'm hoping, now that I've reset the mission, hopefully things will proceed much more smoothly.
This one goes here, that one goes there.
What is that, a Star Wars reference?
The feed now instead of later.
Flanking damage detected.
That's pretty funny. So that's supposed to be a Star Wars reference with Solo and Chewbacca. This one goes there, that one goes there.
Doctor, I thought you were supposed to be Starfleet's best and brightest.
I wouldn't even be in Starfleet anymore if it weren't for this Hur'q nonsense.
He is our best and brightest. He's genetically engineered. He's like a supercomputer in his brain. Okay, let's go ahead and get our...
We're running out of time, Doctor!
Perhaps you know a faster way to translate Hur'q language and reverse engineer their technology.
Yeah, the shield pendant in these knives is actually pretty handy. So getting through some of these Hur'q shields. Especially for these aggressors. Yeah, see, I think that's what it is, because they have that ability to like teleport around, and they're like, I think some of them end up underneath the floor, and then it bugs out. I'm just hoping that doesn't happen here. probably some weird geometries. Like this guy, it looks like he's stuck in a corner, stuck on some little piece of geometry, can't path. Oh god, I can't. Is he out of line of sight? Oh no. Now he can still hit me. If he can hit me, there's gotta be somewhere I can get into line of sight here. Now let's defeat these ones that we can actually hit. Oh no. No, not again, please. Whew, alright guys, I think I finally got to work. What I actually did was I logged out and logged back in rather than doing a map transfer. So doing a map transfer or like zoning out and zoning back into the mission did not work. But if I got back to the same point, and then when I if I just log out and log back in, it seemed to work. The enemy was no longer stuck in the ground. I was able to kill it, and now I can finally talk to Bashir, and we can continue on. Oh god, I'm glad I was able to get past that. So if you do run into this bug in this room, it seems to be a very buggy room with lots of strange geometry, and the Hur'q are getting stuck in the floors and on the slopes. So if you do run into an issue, just try, just go here and go right to log out, and then try it that way, and then log back in, and then it will hopefully work for you. Yeah, because like I said, just doing like actually beaming out, beaming out of the mission and going back in and continuing did not work for me. So, all right, so hopefully finally we can continue with this mission and see the ending here, because so far it was, other than these bugs, it's been very good, but yeah, it's hard to enjoy it when running into all these issues.
Almost ready here. The system needs the physical samples of the cure for final analysis and processing. Shall I proceed?
Yes, definitely. Make it happen, please. I don't want to do this again. All right, cutscene. I was gonna say, is that Odo again? Uh-oh, it's Weyoun.
Are you insane, Weyoun? That was our last hope.
How is this possible? You were in prison.
I was liberated by those who still served the true founders. Not everyone
True
is a traitor
founders?
to the Dominion, after all.
There is only one traitor here, Weyoun. It's time you paid the price for your treachery.
Pathetic. You can't even kill someone properly. Allow me to instruct you. You, Jem'Hadar, make yourself useful.
Uh-oh.
Kill them. Giving you an order. Open fire! Kill them, now!
I think not.
Uh-oh, there goes Weyoun 10. Time to get out Weyoun 11.
And not a moment too soon.
No, she doesn't seem too broken up
Bashir
about
to
it.
command. Everyone, we have a problem.
Ha. So I wonder if there's like two factions of founders now, because he's like, I serve the true founders, so like the female changeling founders aligned with her. But I don't know, she's dead, and like it seems like they would want to align with Odo, like Loris. I don't know. This is interesting. But he shot the sample, right? So now are we screwed here? We can't. It's kind of funny when they zoomed in on the backpack. I thought for sure it was gonna be like Odo. He would like pop out again, or he'd like transform again. But we didn't get the sample into the replicator or whatever, right? So it didn't actually work. We didn't actually cure the Hur'q. So yeah, what's gonna happen here? All right, let's beam up.
That Hur'q fleet is about to attack our position. We need to give the doctor the time he needs to transmit data on the cure.
Transmit data on the cure. I thought we just lost it. Okay, a hive just warped in right in front of us, and I'm already getting pushed around. Alright, one hive down. An assembly over here. Looks like we gotta survive some waves here for a certain period of time. Whoa, that is a lot of swarmers just came in. I'm gonna get away from there. Rather focus on these assemblies. There we go. They're not gonna leave me alone. There you go, turrets! Turrets, go! Take out them swarmers. Alright, time to hit that Lucari console. We are taking a lot of damage from these swarmers. There we go, and that is the new vulnerability assessment sweep, which is now just centered right on your ship rather than a debuff on the enemy. Gives you a little bit of armor pen. Holding up pretty good so far.
Well, you're in quite a fix there, Odo.
That's Quark.
Brilliant observation, Quark. What do you want?
Forgive my brother, Odo. We're here to help.
The Ferengi cavalry? I thought I'd seen everything.
That sounds like the old Odo.
Oh, the best is yet to come, Odo. Say hello to my dangerous friends.
It's gonna be the Klingons, isn't it?
Well, Quark, we're waiting.
Rom, where are they?
Lose something? Like your nerve, perhaps?
Haha.
Long ago, Takuvma, the Unforgettable, lit the beacon of Kahless to restore glory to the Empire. Today, a new torchbearer, Worf, son of Moog,
It's Worf.
does the same. United, we now go to fight the enemy of our ancestors. Today, we will fight the Hur'q. I now hold the weapon they fear most. The sword of Kahless has been returned to us. Join me now in honorable combat. Show the Hur'q what it truly means to be Klingon. For Kahless, for the Empire, Kapla!
That's awesome. Martok is great. But that's Worf. I wonder if they got Michael Dorn to do with some voice work or not. Or maybe he's just there for show. He's not going to say anything. Oh my god. The repulsor beams. The repulsor beams, there's so many. So where are all... Oh, there's all the Klingons, alright. They got all kinds of birds of prey, and a Nagvar. Man, no sooner do I take one out than a new one warps in. Actually, that one pushed me into a new arc on this guy's shield. Thanks. You just killed your friend there. Okay, they're all immune. Let's head over this way. I'm just getting pushed all over the place here, man. Another assembly warped in. Alright, we just gotta defeat the remaining Hur'q here. Nice. Oh, there's more over here. I didn't realize that. Man, check out this fleet though, man. That is a big fleet. This is an awesome looking fleet, man. A lot of Hur'q, heavy birds of prey. Steadfast is still there, so the Zenkathi are still helping. What the heck? Look at this bird of prey. He's like flapping his wings. He thinks he's a real bird of prey. Oh, there's a Vorcha over here too. What the heck, they're both doing it. Is this like some new Klingon maneuver here? I'm in combat, I'm out of combat. Attack formation, regular formation. They think they're in a real flock of birds here. They're all flapping their wings. It's freaking hilarious, man. They got their scattering field going. Yeah, this is an awesome fleet. That's pretty cool. I mean, we've got a whole mix here. Zenkathi, Klingons, Jem'Hadar, Cardassians. Alright, enough looking around here. Oh, there's a Defiant way over there. And there's the Nogbar. Alright, let's see.
The arrival of the Klingons has given us more time in space, but the situation on the surface is dire. Hur'q's forces are breaking the Jem'Hadar defense lines. We need to do what we can to help. I'm beaming directly to the Great Link to aid my people.
Okay, looks like the Hur'q are going to attack the Great Link. That's not good. How would the Great Link defend itself, you know? I mean, it's like you think of this big lake, but they're all changelings. I wonder if they have some... Like, if they combine their strength, could they make some big, huge weapon? Or is, like, some big, huge tentacle that comes out of the Great Link and, like, kills everything? I don't know. Just trying to picture, like, the Great Link, like, defending itself. Or maybe they just separate out into individual changelings and do their crazy-looking tentacle attacks and all that stuff that they would do in the show.
The time has come. The Hur'q mean to ravage everything in their path. We will not allow it. We will stand against them, as Kahless once stood, defiant and proud. Fight well, and if need be, die well. Kapla!
Sorry, I'm not laughing at Martok here, but look, these birds of prey are cracking me up, man. They're like, they're all flapping in sequence now. This is a new attack pattern, a Gamma or something for the Klingons. Oh, that's too funny. Yeah, that was a very inspiring speech, Martok. Thank you. All right, let's do this. Get within range of the planet. All right. Let's take out the Hur'q and defend the Great Link. I'm looking at this planet. I wonder, is this... No. I was going to say, that almost looks like the Great Link, but maybe it's just clouds over the top. I wonder how big of an area on the planet the Great Link actually is. Alright, here's... I already beamed down. Alright, let's beam down. I'm wondering if we get Dukon Rex with us again, but... Here we go. Found our homeworld. Let's check this out.
Whom do we seek? Kahless! How do we find him? Together! Kahless, give us light to see forever! Will he hide from us always? Never!
Haha, Kalos will return.
It's worse than we thought. Most of the Jem'Hadar lines have been broken. Even the Great Link is in danger. I'm going to coordinate our defenses at the link. Meet me there.
Alright, so he's going down to the link. Alright, let's head
meet
there.
You there as soon as we can. And Odo, be careful.
The Jem'Hadar have come to our aid. Now, we will return the favor.
Ah, let's hope we're not too late. Alright, so here we are on the Founder homeworld, which seems to be pretty much what it looked like in the show, which was like a barren wasteland pretty much, except for that one like garden area that they would go in and like try to shape change into different forms. But yeah, the Founders apparently have no need for scenery or anything. They just kind of hang out in their Great Link in a puddle. That's all they do. Alright, but here we go. We got all kinds of Hur'q. Yeah. Take some luck throwing knives, Guardian. Alright, so we've got... Oh, there's like a Jem'Hadar squad here. Let's talk to them.
You fight well.
Oh, it's an option.
Good. There are many Hur'q between us and the Great Link. We go there now to reclaim our lives, for we are already dead.
Victory is life. Aha. Had to get at least one victory is life mentioned in there, right, into the episode. That's pretty much a requirement. I remember in like the first episode, there was like, I think you said victory is life like 30 times in that one episode. Alright. He's got his mining drill laser going. That thing's pretty cool looking, but it's really weird that it just kind of keeps firing even after the enemy is dead. I was gonna say, I didn't notice if we had Dukan Rex with us. Oh, there's is that Martok? Yeah. There's some flanking damage. Take that.
We won't last long out in the open like this.
Odo to Kira. We're fortifying our position near the Great Link.
Understood. We're on our way.
So what do we got over here? The Vorta. Talk to the Vorta.
Your timing is impeccable. Thank you for your assistance. Enough pleasantries. There are still Founders under attack nearby. Go to them and destroy the wretched creatures who would attack our gods. Oh, you are also forbidden to kill yourself if a Founder dies in your presence. We need every able body in the fight.
You're forbidden from killing yourself. Yes, of course. That's pretty funny. We got a pretty big force down here, too. Just like we had a fleet in space, we got a whole squad here. We got a Vorta commander with us now. We got Martok. We got all of that Jem'Hadar squad. Oh, there's Kira. Okay. This is quite a crew we got. Let's keep heading down here. Oh, I wonder if... Are these like... these like little piles of that black powder on the ground? I wonder if those are... Founders. Like dead founders. Ooh, here's a founder. Let's help him. Hopefully he's on Odo's side. Changeling morphogenic monster? Assist the dying changeling. Okay.
Too late.
Uh-oh.
This founder is losing morphogenic matrix stability. There are more friendly life signs nearby.
Died.
We should do what we can for them. This is...
Understood. That's not good. Okay, so he died. Oh, that's a Houdini mine. It looked like it appeared right where he died. I was like, is that like his leftovers? But yeah, I think all of these piles of dust, that's like what happens when the founder dies, right? I remember in that one episode, when that founder died, he like turned into powder. Oh, there's another founder over here. He like changed into like a tentacle. Alright, let's go help him. Cool, I think we got... Oh my god, look at this force we have now. This is getting crazy. I should call in my security team. We'll have like a freaking army here. Alright, so we got a squad of Jem'Hadar here helping out. Alright, let's talk to this founder.
I don't know you, Solid, but I thank you for your service.
That's cool. Although... there he goes. That is pretty funny. Oh, there's more of them down there. We should go help. Looks like there's one over here, too. Let's go over here, see if we can help. Help this one. Looks like another tentacle. Yeah, maybe that's how they fight. They just come out of the Great Link, turn into a tentacle, and slap things around a bit. There we go. Oh no, not this again.
Is this some sort of solid invasion?
No, it's a Hur'q invasion. The Hur'q that you created. And why are you calling me a solid? I'm a Jem'Hadar. I'm like your servant. Oh, great. He killed one of my bridge officers. He's like sitting there. He's hitting us, but we can't hit him. It's not fair. Oh my god, he's killed another one of my bridge officers. What the heck? Call for help. Someone res me. Oh my gosh, this is so crazy. These maps are so buggy. If I stand over here, can I res them? Now Martok is just like standing there like a moron. Ah, there we go. Phew. Okay, let's see if I can get my bridge officers up here. There's one. There we go. Alright, let's go, guys. Let's keep going. Oh, Martok ran ahead. Okay, here's another founder. What the heck? This thing's jumping all over the place. Check this guy out.
Your timing is fortuitous. Solid.
Now, he seemed a little more grateful than the other two. Cool, so we helped 4 changelings. We've assisted them. That was an optional objective there. Okay, so here's the Great Link. This is awesome, man. We got this whole Jem'Hadar force sitting here. We have our whole squad coming in as well. There he goes. He's joining the Great Link again. We got Odo here. Alright, let's see what's going on here, Odo.
You made it. Good. We're going to need all the help we can get here. It looks like the Hur'q are focusing their attacks on the link. I've called for reinforcements, but most of our lines have been overrun. We're going to make a stand here and hope the Doctor's plan is successful. If not, if we fail, this may be the day the Dominion dies.
Okay, right, we'll make our stand here, but I'm still not following how the Doctor... I don't know, does he have more of that compound that he can synthesize or something? Okay, we're making our stand. Here they come.
Please tell me you have more Jem'Hadar coming to help.
The call's been sent, but they may not arrive in time.
We'll do what we can with what we have, then.
As always, until the end.
I'm not sure I like the way you said that, Odo.
This Vortok commander's just like following me around. Make yourself useful.
No, now is not the time for this discussion.
Look around. There may not be a better time.
You're right. And I understand what you did.
You do? Then you know how sorry I am for everything.
Yes. And I forgive you.
I know. I feel the same.
Oh, that was cool. Nice little moment there between Odo and Kira. Their relationship always was a little bit bittersweet in the show as well. Never... I mean, there was a little bit of time during the show where they were kind of sort of happy together, but it didn't really end up that way. But it looks like they had their sort of chance to make amends here. This is a lot of freaking dudes, man. We're holding them back pretty well, though, because we got such a strong force here. Except for this guy. He's freaking worthless. This Vortok commander just standing there. Okay, that is a lot of swarmers coming in here. Hey, how'd you get past? Oh crap. Hope that wasn't my bridge officer.
Nerys, Are you hurt?
It's just a scratch. I'm fine. We're losing ground here, Odo. Keep fighting.
We can't hold this position much longer.
That's Jem'Hadar, for we're about to die, Doctor. Are you ready?
Not without the Ketracell components needed for the cure.
Ketracell? Yes.
Hey, maybe he can use his Ketracell.
Victory.
Wait! Stop!
Is life.
That wasn't what I had in mind. I thought he was just going to take like out his little Ketracell tablet, his little vial that they have in their shoulder. They're all like, what the heck? Well, I guess it worked. That was awesome.
It seems the battle is over, but how? What happened up there, Doctor?
That was an awesome little scene there with the Great Link in the background and walking up to the Hur'q. That was cool. That was, you know, your character walking up. That was nice.
I believe Dukan Rex realized that his own body contained the Ketracell material I needed to finalize the cure. He extracted what we needed at the cost of his life. Once the Hur'q were able to synthesize the cure, they came to their senses and called for an immediate ceasefire. Their forces are withdrawing as we speak. It's over, Odo. I won't say we won, but it's over.
Indeed, and at a great cost. Wow, so that is it. It is over. If it's over, why are things still blowing up? There's like explosions everywhere. Okay, let's report to Deep Space Nine for debriefing. Are you ready to return to the Alpha Quadrant? Almost. Just want to look around one more time at the Great Link here, because this is pretty cool. Oh, there's Dukan Rex. Okay. There's like Hur'q body parts all over the place. Well, I can't go in the Great Link. But wow, that was actually really cool. So Dukan Rex had to sacrifice himself for the Ketracell white materials, but they did actually cure the Hur'q. That was a pretty fast-acting cure, I have to say. It immediately changed every Hur'q in the entire area, like, instantly. Alright, so let's go back to DS9. Let's get the debriefing here. Wow, it did take us all the way back. Alright, let's talk to Bashir. Oh, and there's Dukan Rex, okay.
There was nothing I could do for him on the Hur'q Dreadnought. The Ketracell extraction process was too devastating. Odo, you treated him like a son when we first found him on DS9, and I'm truly sorry.
He didn't even have a name when he left us. I'll make sure the name he found is never forgotten.
Wow, so, okay.
I remember his first days on the station. All he wanted to do was fight. Didn't matter who. When he left, I thought I'd never see him again. Or if I did, it'd be as enemies. The man I met years later still knew how to fight, but his reasons for doing so had changed dramatically. I'm proud to have known him. I wish I could have done more in the end.
Wow. I didn't realize that that was the Jem'Hadar child that they had found. You know, that Dukan Rex was the same Jem'Hadar that they had found on the station all those years ago.
I suppose you're right. I believe Captain Kira was looking for you. She was at the Temple of the Prophets last I checked. If you'll excuse me, I'm going to pay my respects. We'll talk more later.
Very well, I'm sorry for your loss. Still doesn't sound like what a Jem'Hadar would say. He's like, he had an honorable death. He served the Founders. Wow, so I don't know. I guess I didn't realize that. I never put that together, that this was the same Jem'Hadar that was in the original series. Because, you know, like he said, in the original series, they never really had a name. And in that series, when he left, when he left Odo, he had not really been convinced by Odo to change his ways. His Jem'Hadar programming had kind of taken over, and then he left Odo, so he thought he was weak and whatever. But that is kind of cool. So that is interesting how that ended up. Now here's Opaka and Loris. They're all standing around the orb here. Looks like we can talk to all three. Let's talk to Opaka first.
It is good to see you once more. I was hoping we'd have a moment to speak on an important matter before your duties take you back to the stars.
What's on your mind, Eminence?
My thoughts often return to the Orb of Peace. It was no coincidence that it was found in the Gamma Quadrant, in the midst of two warring tribes. I believe it to be a message from the prophets, one of guidance in troubled times.
Okay. Yes, I trust your expertise.
Now that the conflict with the Hur'q has ended, I feel it's time to explore this omen more thoroughly. The recent vision experienced by Loris is truly remarkable. That the prophets would speak to a Vorta.
What?
Again, this is no coincidence. Simply put, I believe the orb is meant to broker a lasting peace between the people of our quadrants and the Dominion.
Wow. Loris had a vision. Okay, we gotta talk to Loris then. I hope you're right. Alright, let's talk to Loris.
Hello again, my friend. It pleases me to see you. I have interesting news.
This is still weird. Vorto would not be talking to a Jem'Hadar like this. Like, you're my friend. It's good to see you. I hope it doesn't involve the Hur'q.
Thankfully, no. Rather, it involves the Orb of Peace that you returned with Opaka. It has spoken to me. I've been exploring the meaning of that experience with the Kai and Captain Kira. They are, after all, experts on such matters. While we all find it curious that an orb of the prophets would speak to a Vorta, we also agree it would be foolish to ignore it.
It is interesting. And what of your service to the Dominion?
With the blessings of Founder Odo, I have been transferred to this quadrant to continue my studies of the orb and the prophets.
Ah, okay.
I shall also serve as Founder Odo's representative here. Diplomacy is my specialty, after all. I'm sure we'll be seeing one another again. May the blessings of the Founders and the prophets be yours.
Interesting. So Loris is going to be hanging around. All right. Glad to hear it. See you around. Didn't say much about what she saw in the vision, but okay. Looks like she will be our, the ambassador here for Odo. Okay, let's talk to Kira.
And here we are, once again. It's been quite a journey, hasn't it?
Indeed. What's next for you, Captain?
Funny you should mention that. After we got back, Starfleet Command offered me a number of postings, even the center chair on one of those shiny new cruisers. Tempting. But I chose to join the command staff here on DS9. Bajor and the Celestial Temple mean a lot to me, and this station is a good place to keep them both safe.
Yeah, makes sense. Seems like what Kira would do. True, it is also close to our mutual friend in the Gamma Quadrant. That's right.
Subtle, but you're not wrong. Odo and I have a lot to work out before we're back to where we were, but we've taken a few good steps in that direction. I think it'll work out. Eventually. He's a hard man to read sometimes.
All right, until next time, Captain.
Thank you for coming to visit. After all we've been through, it means a lot to have friends, even if it reminds me of the ones we miss. Speaking of reunions, I think General Martok is leading the charge against the Bloodwine at Quark's. I'm sure he'd want to congratulate you on another glorious victory. May the prophets watch over you.
And you, Captain. Alright, so let's talk to Martok. Gotta go to Quark's bar. Fortunately, Jem'Hadar don't drink, so it'd be kind of pointless to have some blood wine, but... Oh, Lita and Ram are here. Oh, and Nethpar's here. Okay. Nethpar, she takes up like the whole frickin' area. There's Martok, we got Nog, and of course Morn. Can't have Quark's bar without Morn. The holographic Lita's not here. I guess it's still turned off. We could talk to like freaking everybody here. So let's see. We could talk to Martok, Nethpar, Negus, Ram, Nog, Lita, Quark. I guess let's just start here at the beginning. Let's talk to Ram.
We'll be here at DS9 until my ship is repaired. Fortunately, I have exclusive rights to the holosim of the battle. The sales of that alone will cover the cost of repairs, and then some. Some days, it's good to be the Grand Negus.
The holosim of the battle? Really? They can sell those?
I don't like to think about how close to disaster we were, though. Fortunately, there were people like you out there to bring us all back from the brink. All those adventures. You've got quite a story to tell. That reminds me. Have you ever considered making a holo biography? I think your life story would be quite popular and profitable. I'll make you a very generous offer for the rights and cut you in on a share of the profits, say 25%.
I would say yes. Make a deal with the Grand Negus. Probably make a ton off of that. Ton of Latinum. He's like, interesting offer. I must decline. I want to say yes. Give me some Latinum.
Search yourself. The offer still stands if you change your mind.
Thank you, Grand Negus. If the Grand Negus like endorsed the biography, probably all the Ferengi would buy it. Okay, let's talk to Lita.
Oh, I'm so glad to see this come to an end. But not as glad as everyone back on Ferenginar. It's a celebration of Rule 35 like no one's ever seen before. I mean, peace may be good for business, but things are really getting out of hand.
How so? Apparently she knows the rules of acquisition now as well.
When word got out that the Gamma Quadrant was open for business, the new Latinum rush was on. Open borders and free trade policies? My husband was practically weeping with joy. Oh, poor Odo. He thought he had his hands full with Quark on DS9. Now, he's gonna have an entire quadrant full of Ferengi to deal with.
Yeah. I'm sure he'll rise to the challenge. Yeah, I'll talk about that a little bit later, but that's one kind of loose end I don't think was really addressed here, is what happened with the division between the, the founders, the ones that were loyal to the female changeling and those that are kind of more aligned with Odo. All right, let's talk to Nog.
That was quite the battle. I knew my father and uncle were up to something, but I didn't think it involved leading the Klingon fleet to the fight. That said, we wouldn't have pulled this off without you. Glad you were here for this.
Likewise, what's next for you?
Starfleet's assigned the Chimera to peacekeeping duty in Hur'q space. We'll be working with the Joint Task Force to help the Hur'q get back on their feet again as well. There's a lot to be done, but we want to help them rejoin the galactic community.
Okay. So they're going to try to... Yeah, I mean, actually communicate with the Hur'q again. That'll be interesting. That's quite the task.
It is, but my crew is up for the challenge. They're some of Starfleet's best. Take care of yourself out there. Don't be a stranger.
Alright, same to you. And let's talk to Martok last. Let's talk to Nethpar.
I am forever indebted to you. Without your efforts, I would walk the path of exile for the rest of my days. Now, I will help make amends for all that has happened during Zencast's terrible crusade.
Okay, yeah. Make the most of this opportunity, Captain. Alright, let's talk to Martok.
A hard-fought battle and a well-earned victory. And yet, we almost missed it. Our fleet would have never left the Empire if it weren't for the sword's return. Grilka tells me her former mate, Quark, had something to do with that. The sacred blade of Kahless, returned to the Empire by a Ferengi. Madness!
Her current mate played a part as well.
Yes, it was Worf's idea to ignite the beacon of Kahless. A bold move, but it paid off. Only a coward could refuse such a call to arms.
Okay. I didn't realize... Yeah, it was Worf's idea to bring it. Okay.
The legend of Kahless is stronger than ever. It would not surprise me if the High Council moved to create a new clone of the Emperor. There is great power in legend, after all.
That would be something. So it was pretty controversial the first time they made Kahless, the clone. Oh, gotta talk to Quark.
Welcome back. Seeing as this is a private party and I'm in an unusually generous mood, you'll be getting the VIP discount on your drinks tonight.
You mean they're not on the house?
Did you take a hit to the head in that fight? I'm in a good mood. Not insane. Half off. Take it or leave it.
Fair enough.
That's more like it. Don't take it personally. You could be Odo. His drinks, 50% markup.
Although I'm a Jem'Hadar and I don't drink, but okay. I wouldn't let him hear that.
Can I get you something?
Let's ask about the Sword of Kahless.
Not much to tell, really. Lex saw the error of his ways and gave it back. Then I had Grilka let Martok and Worf know we'd recovered their precious relic. A quick handoff later, and the Klingons were off to war. Rom and I tagged along, mainly to see the look on Odo's face when I rode in with the cavalry. That was priceless. If I die tomorrow, I'll go to the Exchequer with a smile on my face.
Yeah, I'm sure. And you didn't make a profit on that job?
Who do you think you're talking to? Nog? Unlike the Federation, the Klingons know the value of Latinum. I'm thinking of spending my cut on a smaller moon to orbit the one I already have. I might even name it Odo.
The moon of Odo. You're living dangerously, Quark. Good luck.
Can I get you something?
Alright, looks like that is it, maybe?
Interesting. There's a message from Garrick on my monitor here. Text only. He wants you to meet him at his old tailor shop.
Alright.
Maybe he's had enough of politics and wants to get back in the fashion game. Probably more profitable in the long run, and easier on the nerves.
That seems unlikely.
I wouldn't keep him waiting if I were you. He looks for secrets when he gets bored, and trust me, he's not the person you want poking around in your business.
Okay, let's see what he wants. Alright, so we're done with Quark's bar, but we still gotta talk to Garrick. I have to admit, I thought Garrick would have something up his sleeve with the Founders. with those Hur'q beacons. Although I guess now that the Hur'q are sane, those beacons probably don't work. Oh, and Camarque's in here too. Alright. I guess let's talk to Camarque first. Was she... I didn't see her in the fleet. I didn't see the Lucari science ship there. Unless I missed it.
The conflict may be over, but there's still plenty of work to be done. The Lucari have offered to help the Hur'q restore their homeworld's ecosystem, and they've accepted. Dr. Bashir will be working with us on this. It's our goal to ensure that no Hur'q will go without nourishment again.
Yeah, maybe they can replicate that fungus or whatever they had as a food source before the Dominion came.
Some time ago, I hoped for a path to peaceful resolution to our troubles with the Hur'q. I'm happy to be part of such a solution, at last. Thank you for your efforts in getting us all to this point, to peace.
You're welcome. Safe travels, Captain. Camarque's awesome. Hopefully we'll see her again in another episode. Alright, let's talk to Garrick.
Thank you for meeting me here. Strangely, I find it easy to center myself in this shop, even relax.
Memories of a simpler time?
Quite so. Cardassia is about to begin a new journey, as it were, and I'll be going along for the ride.
Okay.
Oh, it is. Cardassia has been offered membership in the Alliance, and we've accepted. Our seat at the table was hard-earned, but we're ready and grateful to join the ongoing efforts. Officer exchange programs have already begun. In fact, I suspect you'll be seeing more Cardassian faces in the future. I hope you show them the same courtesy as you've shown me in our shared adventures.
Of course, and where will you be during all of this? Good question. I wonder if he's going to stay here or go back to Cardassia.
Oh, I'll be spending time on Earth, Kronos, and New Romulus. The life of an ambassador is never dull, after all. Someone needs to make sure the Alliance doesn't forget about Cardassia, and I suppose that someone is me. I'll be sure to follow your exploits, of course. They'll be far more entertaining than economic forecasts and state functions, to be sure.
Okay.
I believe our fearless leaders would like to have a word with you next.
I want to ask how you know that. Alright. So this is definitely... Alliance leaders are right out here. Oh, okay. Thought I would have to go up to Ops or something. But yeah, this is definitely the last episode in the arc. They are tying up all the loose ends. Well, at least they are... I mean, at least for all the characters, they're kind of giving a closing arc to each of the characters. But like I said, there are some loose ends here. I'll talk about that at the end. But let's finish the talks here. So we got Quinn, Jem'Hadar, and Datan are here. Let's talk to Quinn.
There have been some significant diplomatic events since your return from the Gamma Quadrant. First, the Dominion is joining the Alliance. Having them as allies will take some getting used to, but the opportunity was too great to ignore.
Agreed.
As a condition to joining the Alliance, we requested that the Founders take steps to free the Jem'Hadar from their addiction to Ketracel White. I'm happy to say that Ambassador Odo is inclined to comply with that request.
Wow.
It will make things interesting in the Gamma Quadrant, to be sure. Still, it's been a long time coming. The Jem'Hadar should be able to live their lives freely.
Wow, that would be pretty strange. Jem'Hadar not being addicted to the white. Huh. It's a risk, but one worth taking. Yeah. Considering I got 2 tubes of white going into my neck right now. Alright, let's talk to Jem'Hadar.
The Hava's cool sector has been designated as independent from the Dominion, and a Hur'q neutral zone has been established around it. The Empire will join the Federation and the Republic in keeping the peace between the Dominion and the Hur'q. We have experience in enforcing a neutral zone after all.
Yeah, that's true.
Martok's use of the beacon and the return of the blade has led to a renewed interest in Kalis throughout the Empire. Some say that Martok stands with honor next to great heroes like Tukuvma, Vok, Lorel, and Kang. As if getting along with the stubborn old Targ wasn't difficult enough. His ego will be larger than Mount Hamar at this rate. It is fortunate that Martok has little in the way of political aspirations. Otherwise, I may need to kill him. Again. Ha!
That is true. Martok never really wanted to be a politician. He just wanted to, you know, command a ship and be a warrior. Both of you can make the Empire stronger, Chancellor. Alright, let's see what Datan has to say. Romulans pretty much stayed out of it this time.
I have initiated a dialogue between the Dominion and the Karema. In light of recent events, I feel it is imperative that their conflict is resolved peacefully. Whether that results in an independent Karema or not remains to be seen.
Yeah.
But I shall endeavor to help them reach a result that is beneficial for both parties.
That is a definite plot point of the future. That's going to be a challenge. First, the Ambassador and Dr. Bashir would like a word with you in sickbay when you have a moment. Alright. Let's go back to sickbay here. Oh, it looks like I'm having white withdrawal. Like they haven't cured the white addiction yet. Let's go ahead and power up. There we go. Alright, heading back to sickbay. Oh, they're outside. I was like, what the heck? I saw their name, but then...
Things are finally settling down around here. Well, as much as it ever settles down, that is.
You're still in uniform, Doctor.
Well, there's a lot to be done with the Hur'q, and being part of Starfleet will help me make things happen in that regard. When I'm not here, I'll be working with the Lucari and the crew of the USS Aventine to help the Hur'q get back on their feet.
Havas Kul is a long way from home for you.
Indeed, but I happen to be married to the captain of the Aventine, so it won't be, you know, too bad. The kids won't be joining us until Kumake and her team restore Havas Kul to a more habitable state, however. I'm sure we'll see each other again soon. But until then, be safe out there. Doctor's orders.
Alright. That's definitely another possible plot point in the future.
The Dominion is about to go through a number of changes, liberating the Jem'Hadar from the White, phasing out the Founder's benevolent dictatorship, establishing a safe haven for the Hur'q. Needless to say, I'm going to be very busy for quite some time.
Yeah, not all of these changes will be popular, that's for sure.
No. There are still a number of Founders within the Great Link who will be very resistant to change. I'd like to think they're outnumbered by those willing to take a more democratic approach, however. The last thing anyone needs is a Dominion civil war.
Agreed. Okay, so they did address it a little bit here, that there are some in the Resistance, but,
Also, not all of the Hur'q were cured. We'll be dealing with rogue swarms for some time. I hope we can call on you in the future if we run into that special kind of trouble you have a talent for dealing with. Oh, and speaking of trouble, you might keep an eye on Quark. That little act of heroism with the sword of Kalis will make him bolder than ever.
yeah. I'll do what I can, Constable. Why would I call Odo Constable? I'm a Jem'Hadar. I call him like God or Founder or something. Whoa, got all kinds of accolades here. Hello, complete. Accolade, complete. Ketracel dependency removed. Accolade, complete. Gamma Quadrant. Wow, I wonder if that actually means that I'm not addicted to Ketracel White anymore. Interesting. Alright, so we got a message from Loris here, although it doesn't look like it was voice acted. So, first, our founder Odo has decreed that we will use our new knowledge to remove the Jem'Hadar dependency upon the Ketracel Way. Oh, okay, so she's talking about that. As soon as you leave, we will disseminate the information to our medical officers. You will still be able to benefit from the rush in battle, but you will no longer require Ketracel White for your survival. Nice. Glory to the founders for their wisdom. You are free to depart from Deep Space Nine when you are ready. Wow, okay. That is it. I believe this is the end of the mission. Finally, we've talked to everybody. Yeah, those last few conversations there did open up a few avenues for future episodes, that's for sure. Definitely something with the Lukari restoring the Hur'q homeworld, you know, and the politics going on there, like the Klingons enforcing a new neutral zone with the Hur'q. So yeah, I definitely see some kind of episode there coming up. And where am I? I'm back here. Let's go ahead and hail.
The future of the Dominion is uncertain for the first time in many years. Without the Founder and her unbreakable will at the center of it all, the Gamma Quadrant will undoubtedly go through a great deal of turmoil. I'll do what I can to maintain order and keep the peace, but it's going to be challenging, to say the least. For now, what matters to me is that you fought for the Dominion when we needed it the most. I won't forget that. And thanks to the Great Link, neither will the Founders. Thank you. I hope we meet again under much better circumstances.
All right, there we go. And here are our rewards. I'm definitely going to pick up this morphogenic Polaron energy weapon, which seems to be a turret. And the first piece in this set. Let's pick this up and we'll take a look at the stats real quick and the set bonus. And then I will give my final conclusions of this this particular episode, and then the entire Gamma Quadrant story arc, which, you know, this obviously is the, you know, conclusion to that arc. So so here is the weapon. Okay, it is unique. You can only have one. Polaron damage, minus 8 weapon power, yeah, to target. Chance for power level drain. So it doesn't seem that unique as far as the effect. But let's get the details here and take a look at the set bonuses. That's weird. Why would it be modified by beam overload? That's strange. Okay, so... Wait a minute. It doesn't say what the set bonuses are. Well, that's not good. Wow. Almost always it has the set bonuses there. I wonder if the... How did I get a Gamma Quadrant tribble? One of my tribbles must have eaten some food and I made a Gamma Quadrant tribble. Yeah, it doesn't say the set bonus there, guys, so unfortunately I won't be able to talk about it. I wanted to see what the set bonus was. Maybe, I'm getting the feeling if it's not here in the tooltip, I'm guessing that Cryptic probably did not finish the set bonus, or it's not tested yet or something. But, yeah, so I'm guessing we won't find out what that is until the next week when they add the next item, and then they will have to say what the set bonuses are, because then you'll be able to actually have 2 of them. But that is weird. Why would it say beam over? Let me read this, because That's very odd. It would be affected by fire at will, a beam overload, and cannon abilities, scatter volley and rapid fire. Morphogenic Polaron energy weapon is a unique weapon capable of existing as both a heavy turret and a beam array? Wait, what? A heavy turret? And a beam array. And capable of firing in 360 degree. When activating certain beam and cannon attack enhancing abilities, it will rapidly change into the associated weapon type? Whoa. This weapon is composed of a non-sentient morphogenic matrix that responds to the particular energetic signature of the starship weapon system. So basically it's a changeling weapon. It'll change into either a beam or a cannon. Huh. That is actually quite unique. And I was wondering, it does have a weird looking icon, right? You can almost see like the beam, the Omni beam there, and then the turret on the top part. Huh. I was not expecting that. That is actually really cool. So it could be a beam or a cannon. Nice. So guys, yeah, this is a really unique reward, I have to say. I'm very much looking forward to this now. So we get this really cool turret / Omni, and then we also get next week we're going to be getting that energy torpedo, which is going to be great, and then we get a console after that, and then we'll get to see hopefully what the set bonuses are. We didn't get to see those right now, but definitely looking forward to putting together a Polaron build for this ship, and once I get some fleet gear on here, I will go ahead and definitely be putting out a full build video. And I know there were some requests to post my video, sorry, not my videos, post my builds up onto Stowe Academy, which, yes, I haven't done that yet, but I will definitely, once I get the build going for this ship, I'll post it up on Stowe Academy, and I'll also go back and look at my previous Season 13, or, post-Season 13 builds and get those up there as well, just for reference, because some people have asked for that. And I did promise to do that. I will be doing that here in the coming weeks as I put together this build for this Polaron build, because this could be really cool. All right, but yeah, that is it, guys. I think I'd just give my final thoughts here on this featured episode, Home. And I'm guessing once this featured episode event is done, this will then become the final part. They'll put it here under the Gamma Quadrant story arc, and we'll have the final part. But that was a great episode. So that really did bring a nice closure to it. It had some nice throwbacks to the show. I mean, you had a little bit of a reunion of Kira and Odo, which was pretty good, a little bit touching there at the end. And we had the kind of interesting twist there at the end with the Hur'q becoming, losing their bloodlust and their madness and returning to their normal state back before the Dominion started, the female changeling started experimenting on them, 2,000 years ago or whatever it was. So that was pretty cool. And then at the very end there, we even find out that they are working to break the Ketracel White addiction for the Jem'Hadar, which would also be a huge change. I mean, that would totally shake up how the Dominion is even structured, right? And also, so one of the loose ends I wanted to talk about was the part at the end there, because they didn't really go into much of the turmoil or the conflict between the different founder factions. One who was more, the one faction that was more supportive of the female changeling, and then the one that was more on Odo's side. They kind of mentioned it at the very end there in Odo's dialogue, but didn't really go into much detail, because that could definitely pose some issues. I mean, the Great Link is always, you always thought of them as being totally united, but now if how would it work if there's two different factions and there's, still sharing the Great Link? How would that work? Maybe that'll be explored a little bit in the future now, because, now what they're trying to break the Ketracel White addiction for the Jem'Hadar, maybe there'll be a future episode that goes into that in a little more detail. I'd like to learn more about that. But that was one kind of loose end that I noticed there. And I have to say, I mean, overall, this entire story arc has been so excellent. I think the only thing that kind of brought me out of the immersion of it was the constant dialogue options for, as a Jem'Hadar character, these dialogue options a lot of times just did not make sense. I mean, obviously they wrote these episodes to be kind of neutral to whatever species or race was doing it. It could be a Federation, Klingon, Jem'Hadar, whatever. But that, in a lot of ways, did not work very well with the Jem'Hadar. And it's kind of funny because I remember, back when they were first released Victory is Life, and people were asking, well, why is the Vorta not part of, why are they not a playable race? Why are they not part of the Dominion faction? And, part of what Cryptic has said is they had designed the episodes around being Jem'Hadar. And in all honesty, I think a lot of these episodes, particularly in the Gamma Quadrant arc, all of these episodes would have made more sense as a Vorta. I mean, a lot of these dialogue options were much more like diplomatic and dealing with, higher issues than just combat, and dealing with personal relations and that kind of thing. So it almost would have made more sense to be a Vorta, in my opinion, for most of these episodes. I think the only episodes that were more geared towards the Jem'Hadar were just these the 3 tutorial episodes. After that, everything was much more geared, or would have made a lot more sense if you were a Vorta, in my opinion. So I find that very ironic, given, the original justification for not having Vorta in the Dominion. I've seen a few hints out there that we might be getting Vorta at some point in the future. I don't know about that. We'll have to wait and see. I hope so. I do still want to make a playable Vorta. That would be awesome. But that said, I did really enjoy this story arc. I mean, this story arc really felt like an extension of the show, and I think that's what Cryptic was going for, and it really worked well. All the cutscenes were much, at a much higher production quality. Even that little recap at the beginning of the home episode here, with that recap the previous 6 episodes, that was really well done. And everything just kind of came together, with the original voice actors. The writing was very good. It all just came together really well, and I think it made a very compelling story arc. Very memorable. I think probably the best story arc so far. I'm not... I don't think I'm being too bold in saying that. I think it was very clearly a cut above the rest. I mean, Cryptic is just getting better and better with each one of these story arcs, and this one is definitely top-notch. And I definitely think that Quark's Lucky 7 was perhaps the best episode in the entire game at this point, just given the sheer amount of work that went into that episode. Although this final episode was very good too. This episode Home was also very good. It had a good clear ending, and it brought together all of the sort of plot threads from the previous episodes, including the communicating with the Hur'q, Quark bringing the Klingons into the war. I mean, everything kind of came together and it worked out. So it was actually, a very satisfying ending. I really, really enjoyed it. So I think that pretty much covers my opinion on this, guys. Very much happy with this whole Victory is Life, expansion as far as the story content goes. Very, very enjoyable. So I guess at this point, now that this arc is done, we just have to wait and see what's going to happen. I mean, based on the dialogue, it looks like we're probably going to be eating something with, the Hur'q homeworld, or terraforming the homeworld, or restoring the homeworld with the Lucari, which does make a lot of sense. With their protomatter technology, they could probably restore, the biosphere of the Hur'q homeworld and restore their food sources and everything like that. So, but there's also something that wasn't really addressed in this episode was the Fakiri. So they're still out there. That's another possible plot point in future episodes. They're still kind of a villain, outstanding villain, that were brought about from the Dominion as well. So there could be something along those lines. So there's definitely some plot threads where Cryptic could go with the next episode. So we'll have to wait and see where that ends up. But all All right, guys, but yeah, I guess let me know in the comments down below. What did you think of this episode? I thought it was great. What do you think of the overall Gamma Quadrant story arc? I thought it was a really complete, well-told story, well-rounded all the way through. And I enjoyed it a lot. And looking forward to the next one. Now, yeah, I guess that pretty much covers it. We do have the summer event coming up soon, so I will definitely get a video up for that. And we'll be checking out that in the new Vorgon ship as well. But yeah, that'll be coming soon. That'll be in the next week here when the event starts, and we'll check all that out. But for now, I think that covers it here for the Gamma Quadrant story arc. Thank you very much for watching, and bye for now.